Las Vegas, summer of 2008. A few minutes before 8 in the morning, the doors of a practice gym open, and the most physically gifted basketball players on the planet walk in for Team USA training camp. Then they stop, because somebody is already on the floor, drenched in sweat. Ice packs strapped to both knees. His workout is not beginning, it is ending. He has been inside this building since 4 o'clock in the morning, and what he did in those 4 hours, before the best players in the world had even tied their shoes, is something we will come back to, because it explains everything about him. But to understand why a man at the top of his profession was punishing himself in an empty gym while the world slept, you first have to hear the most comfortable lie you have ever been told. The lie is one word: talent. Whenever we witness a moment of brilliance, a buzzer beater, an impossible fadeaway, we reach for it instantly. We call them chosen ones, and we do it for a reason that has nothing to do with them and everything to do with us. If greatness is a genetic lottery, then our mediocrity is not our fault. We were simply not chosen. The lie lets us sleep. Today, we tear that word apart through 3 men who refused to let anyone on earth outwork them. Kobe Bryant, who named his method the dark work. Michael Jordan, who was beaten, physically beaten, out of the playoffs 3 years in a row, and responded by rebuilding his own body like an engineer. And Ray Allen, who mastered the one thing the human brain is wired to reject: boredom. This is Mindset of Legends. By the end of this video, the word talent will mean nothing to you. If one name is synonymous with the destruction of the talent myth, it is Kobe Bean Bryant. Kobe did not practice. He weaponized preparation, a philosophy so extreme it alienated peers, intimidated opponents, and forged 5 championship rings. He called it the dark work, the excruciating effort invested when absolutely no one is watching, the lonely grind in the shadows long before the arena lights turn on. Now, let's go back to that gym in Las Vegas, summer of 2008, and rewind to 4 in the morning. While LeBron James, Dwyane Wade, and the rest of the greatest roster ever assembled slept, Kobe was in the weight room, lifting for 90 minutes. Then he walked onto the court, and he did not leave until he had made, not taken, 800 jump shots. By the time official practice began at 8 a.m., the man with the ice packs had already completed a full working day. His teammates were starting theirs. He was on his second. Understand what this actually was: psychological warfare, waged through arithmetic. Kobe grasped the brutal mathematics of mastery. Train at 4 a.m. and again in the afternoon, and you compress 2 working days into every 24 hours. Sustain that for a year, and you have manufactured a gap so astronomically wide that no genetic gift on earth can bridge it. When Kobe stepped onto a court, he did not hope to win. He knew, because he had already suffered more than the man guarding him. That is the dark work. You bleed in the shadows so you can look effortless in the light. But volume alone has a ceiling. What happens when you are already the most skilled player alive, and you keep losing? For that, we need the ultimate icon. In the late 1980s, Michael Jordan was, without argument, the most spectacular talent the NBA had ever seen. And year after year, his playoff dreams were crushed by the same team, the Detroit Pistons, the Bad Boys. They knew they could not outplay him, so they stopped trying. Every time Jordan drove to the basket, he was slammed to the hardwood. They battered him, wore him down, and exhausted him for 3 straight seasons. Here is where the story separates legends from stars. Jordan did not complain to the referees. He did not cry to the media. He accepted a truth that most elite performers spend their whole careers avoiding. His current body, for all its aerial majesty, was fundamentally inadequate for the war in front of him. His skill was not enough. His talent was not enough. So he changed his biology. Jordan founded the now legendary Breakfast Club, pre-dawn strength sessions with a small circle of committed teammates. But this was not lifting to look good. It was engineering. He analyzed the specific angles at which the pistons hit him, and he built muscle exactly where those impacts landed. A custom suit of armor, constructed rep by rep in the dark, for one specific enemy. This is the psychology of micro-progress, continuous, deliberate dissatisfaction. The moment you decide your talent is sufficient, you begin to die as a competitor. Jordan hunted his own weaknesses so he could execute them before an opponent could. The next season, the Pistons ran the same playbook. They hit him, and this time, Michael Jordan did not fall. He absorbed the contact, finished the play, and dismantled them. He did not beat Detroit with the talent he was born with. He beat them with the armor he built in the dark. Kobe conquered through volume. Jordan through evolution. Our third legend conquered through something far stranger, the total mastery of monotony. Ray Allen is one of the greatest shooters in the history of basketball, and his secret is almost offensive in its simplicity. He tolerated a level of repetition that would psychologically break a normal person. For every single game of his 2-decade career, Allen arrived at the arena exactly 3.5 hours before tip-off. He ate the same meal. Then he began the same shooting drill, 5 spots on the floor, and he refused to leave a spot until he had made an exact number of consecutive shots. Posture, elbow angle, wrist flick, foot placement, every variable identical every night for 20 years. Not practice, an assembly line. Most people cannot survive this. The human brain is built to crave novelty. Executing the same microscopic movement thousands of times a day is profoundly, mind-numbingly boring. Ray Allen embraced the boredom because he understood what it was buying him. In the final seconds of an NBA Finals game, when the pressure is paralyzing, conscious thought is too slow, and talent is irrelevant. The only thing you can rely on is what has been permanently burned into your nervous system. June 2013, Game 6 of the NBA Finals. The Miami Heat are seconds from losing the championship. The ball finds Ray Allen as he backpedals blindly toward the corner. No time to look down, no time to think. His feet land exactly behind the line. The shot he releases is arguably the most famous clutch three-pointer ever made. He was not performing a miracle. He was executing an algorithm he had run 10,000 times in empty gyms, and the algorithm did not care about the pressure. Miracles, it turns out, are manufactured, in advance, in private. Through repetition, nobody ever applauds. 3 legends, 3 methods. 1 monumental truth. Talent is a story we tell to excuse ourselves from the work. Kobe Bryant proves the gap between you and your competition is built in the hours nobody witnesses. The dark work is invisible by definition, which is exactly why so few people do it. Michael Jordan proves that being the best is not a destination. The moment he was beaten, he did not defend his talent. He audited it, found the weakness, and rebuilt. Your weaknesses are a construction site, not a verdict. Ray Allen proves that under real pressure, you do not rise to the occasion. You fall to the level of your preparation. and preparation is repetitive, dull, and unglamorous by nature. That is the price. Nobody is born a legend. Greatness is a decision that gets made or avoided every morning when the alarm goes off. So the next time you watch someone brilliant and feel that familiar word forming, talented, stop and ask a different question instead. What were they doing at 4 in the morning? And what were you doing? If this shifted something in how you see success, subscribe to Mindset of Legends. This is what we do. We open up the minds of the greatest to ever live. Turn off the excuses, step into the dark, and stay legendary.